Hey all, it's Nikos here, and we are going to do our weekly Forex forecast for June the 18th to June the 22nd. I hope you enjoy the weekend. It's Sunday today, and we're going to cover our Forex pairs plus Brent crude and also Bitcoin. The reason we add Bitcoin today is because the trader of the week took a powerful trade on the 4-hourly chart on Bitcoin, and I will start with him right away. This is Arnold from Peru. So Arnold placed an order on his charts. It's not easy to spot, but I'll do the analysis afterwards. You can see a trend line break is actually higher time frame 1 to 3. There's a trend line coming from somewhere else, and he placed an order for short. So I would say you also got lucky to get filled, because I think that was caused by news, and sometimes if it's too fast it can even jump your order, right? But usually it shouldn't. Now Arnold said no incremental partial profits taken. I went for all or nothing. I placed one order with 0.7% risk. That means entry here, account protection order over here, and gained 2.8 or almost 2.9% profits on support down here. So what happened, I often explain that when you have more experience trading our strategies and system, and you are trading a volatile pair, you know that sometimes if it's really trending and there is enough volatility, price will go to your target most of the times if you have done your analysis correctly. So instead of taking incremental profits, which is actually there for you to feel better, to create a win-win scenario, and therefore leave the bonus lot running so you can feel relaxed. Instead of doing this, you can also say, no, I have my experience now, I know my numbers, so I will just get in. I will either get stopped down, so I give something back to the markets, or price will go my way and then I make much more. So I like to do that, especially with swing trading, if I feel this could be a powerful trade. Now what happens, and that's what happened here. It was so volatile that Arnold didn't have to take any profits. He was probably also monitoring this. What you can do in this case, you can always trail your account protection order and place it over your volatility line in case you think it will go back too fast, or over the 36, depending on the situation, just to feel better. In case you don't take any incremental profits, that's one thing you can do. Or if you sense the price won't go to your support area because the volatility has changed and price isn't that active anymore, you can also then later on either trail the stop or take incremental profits manually. Okay, so you can start doing this when you know your numbers, when you feel great and you have experience. So well done to Arnold. For everybody, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and comment on the video below. Let's continue, of course. Okay, let's go to the Bitcoin weekly chart. You'll see we have, you can see here we have a nice down move, horizontal support in this area. You don't have to draw any support lines right now because price did break this area anyways. So we'll see it's going down for sure on the daily chart. You have to draw your lines a little bit more in detail. I would say the most important ones are those, so you can draw the line like that if you like to, and a horizontal line down here, so you find most touches in this area and a possible bounce here. So price might continue moving up and doing something like this if you see a good bounce here. So prepare for possible longs. It's still a downtrend for sure, and you can also draw your line like this. That's actually what Arnold did, connecting this big daily 1 2 3, switching to the sorry, 4-hourly chart, and then saying, okay, I have higher lows, I have a higher time frame 1 2 3, as you can see here, and lack of volatility, price can break this area of resistance, the extension from up here, and it will probably go down. So instead of waiting, he placed his order somewhere here, I remember, and an account protection over here, having his target somewhere in this area. So if you calculate, this is like 4 times plus your your stop and account protection order. So a really great risk reward situation here. Well done again. Yeah, for now, if we have higher lows, again, check the daily chart. You might get some reaction here. And if price, I would actually wait to make sure, see what price does in this area. If it's going down again, cool. But if it's breaking up, you can then trade against the main trend. You can take advantage of this wedge and try longs to target this area. Okay, let's do our classic analysis now and check. Most of our trades of our analysis from last week worked out nicely, but there were some spikes on many pairs caused by news. You'll see we have a daily 1, 2, 3, but if I go and switch to the lower time frame, price did retest this area, spiked a little bit, and then went our way. So not easy to get in, only in lower time frames or after placing orders. Some people might, traders might, or did probably try here, and if the stop was too close, account protection order too close, it would probably kill your trade here. If that happened, I don't know. But if you placed your account protection orders over the 200 and over the previous highs, you should have been fine. GBP-CHF, I want to cover this because it's still ranging, and as I said last time, if it's not going down, if it's not getting out of this range or wedge, we don't touch this unless you trade low, really low time frames. Even on lower time frames, I wouldn't go for it. It's not that volatile, not looking that nice, unless of course you trade the 1 hourly chart. Look for bounces off and spikes off this trend line. Okay, now the Euro New Zealand dollar, again, it did break. We said last time it's too spiky, not looking really nice. Wait for clean break, and you see what happened on the 4 hourly. We had this range, price came up, it broke the previous highs. There were a lot of stops, I guess. So before the news, it went up, and you know what the brokers do, they like to kick out everybody's stop in an area where most people have it if they get the chance. So something like that happened here, and then price went actually down. So yes, it still everything works. Price went our way, but not like usually. It spiked before we had the news, and then it went. So this happens often. Make sure you don't trade before news. If you know there's some big news or there's something going on, don't touch anything until the news are released, and then wait either to check for setups on the lower time frames to get in, especially if you're a day trader, or wait for another setup and see what happens then. So the same scenario here. If we get another entry, we could try, because it really still looks short. You can start drawing a resistance line now that you have a bounce, and see if price can give you some setup so you can trade short. If that's not happening and price is going up, we want to wait for the break of this resistance. Euro Yen and GBP JPY, they're not as volatile as they should be. Let me just draw this and this. On the 4 hourly chart, we have this break, and again, you could have taken this by placing an order. I don't think there were any setups on the 1 hourly chart, just bounces and breaks. So now what you can do on the lower time frame, wait for Monday, see if there's some volatility. You can try shorts on the steep 1 to 3 with low risk, or using lower time frames, or maybe even using your Renko charts, but really look for the volatility. That's the key. And then of course you can target on the daily chart the previous lows or close to the lows somewhat here. but we'll see. GPJPY, the same thing. It's even worse in terms of volatility. On the 4-hourly chart, you'll see it looks like this. You can draw your line, and there's a 1 to 3 making right now. So this looks a little bit smoother, depending how it will look on Monday. Just check. You see the 1-hourly doesn't look nice, only on the 4-hourly. If we have volatility and if price really wants to break and move lower, we look for entries here. Renko is the same thing. If you switch to your Renko charts, you'll see it looks a little bit smoother, but again, price did spike, and now we have this on 120, like 12 pips per box. We need to see the break on this Renko chart to make it worth trading. Okay, if that happens, we can also switch to the 240. Horizontal support down here, this would be our targets. If you want to trade this on the lower settings, look for M6 1 to 3s, or maybe even M3, but really M3 only if price is actually creating a lower point on the chart, like 1 2 3s, clean ones, not this range. So I would really wait for M6 to give you the direction. Make sure it's breaking the 36 here as well. Okay, and then look for setups, so something like that on M6 or M3 before jumping in without knowing the direction clearly. Okay, it's not good. Wait for this, and then it will be all fine. Yeah, and one more thing I wanted to point out: the Australian dollar, US dollar. Where is this one? Here we go. A daily 1 to 3. We said we're waiting for this break. That happened. We had a nice 4-hourly 1 to 3. You see 1 2 3 touches, and again caused by news a spike, but fortunately this spike didn't penetrate the highs here. It went down fast. So if you placed an order with a stop of 50 points, it's with 120 points in profit. So well done for the guys that did that. For new setups, you really need another 4-hourly 1 to 3 at least, late entry or combining it with lower time frames. And then the target would be, first of all, this horizontal area down here, and of course later on the lows down here. So another 50, 60, 70 points after retracement, of course, unless you're already in, or it could be another 250 points profits if price is really moving fast. But we want to wait for setups. Now on the Renko charts, 120 looks like that. Again, what we want to see is a nice break. We got already the 1 2 3 here, and if you switch to M60, you'll see the bounces on this powerful trend line nicely going down. Now we want another 1 2 3. It's too late on M60 to get in. I would wait for a 12 pips per candle box retracement first, a nice one. If we get this close to resistance would be nice. Then of course we can try again a late entry, low risk, to try to get in here. And then the analysis is the same. You switch to 240 and 480 to find the areas of support down here, and later on, of course, if you want to, you target down here. It's the same thing, looks just a little bit nicer because of the volatility. One more left, Brent crude, and people are asking for this, so no problem. It's really going up. It's an uptrend. But if you check your daily chart, you'll see we have a break and we have resistance. So all the bounces on major resistance work. It's nice and volatile. It's easy to spot, so it's an easy chart to trade at resistance. Powerful profit zone areas and bounces there. And then of course, if you waited for the break of this, you could have taken trades on the lower time frame, or using also your Renko charts to get in here. 1, 2, look, extension ending up exactly there. So price did retrace, exactly touched and moved lower. Really nice. So well done. That's it for this week. Again, for the targets here on the weekly chart, before I forget, if price is not bouncing and moving up, you want, of course, to target this previous high later on, the 36 EMA. And if you see weakness there and price creating a lower high, you can always stay in and see what happens after the break of the 36. Okay, that's it. Enjoy the week. Actually, the weekend, we still have one more day. Also, before I forget, I want to mention our upcoming charity event. We are going to do this next week. Yes, Sunday, June the 24th. And it's a charity event, guys. It will be recorded in case you miss it, but it would be great if you could make it live. It is worth a lot, and we only charge you $97 for this great event. You get a lot out of this. You actually get a Renko indicator with a $350 value. You get my NTA blueprint checklist. Everything is recorded, and it will be great and very helpful to everybody. Okay, you will find the link below this video. I'll see you there. Bye for now.